actors, male actors, have said in the past is that, oh, if it's a female-led film, it won't have. It won't have that sort of a pull, which is why we can't invest more than like a X amount, is what they've said. Loka was a very big budget film by the standards of the Malayalam film industry. Yeah. And that's because the producers of Loka, and it was headlined by a woman. My mom and me are big Bahubali fans. And both of us love Prabhas sir in the movie because he's like so tall and, he regal and his attitude and his elegance. Like very few people could have pulled off that role. It's like I'm very critical about, movies and stuff. But Bahubali has a special place in my heart. Yeah. Mammootty sir happened to see me somewhere and then he was like, oh, there's this girl, she's really nice and she'll be the perfect fit for this. Like Shaadi Ka Rishta kaise hota hai na? When Rajnikant sir's films used to release, there was like a milk shortage once.
Oh, yeah, because of the Doodh Abhishek.
In Chennai, yeah. Talapati is somebody who has that in, Tamil. Yeah. So I think that entire festival that his films come with, this feeling, I think that's something everyone will miss.
We will. Hello everyone, welcome to News 18. I am Titash Chaudhary in conversation with Malavika Mohanil. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
All good. Malavika, I'll start with this. I think it's been a little over a decade for you as an actor. And you've pretty much worked with the who's who of the industry, be it, there's Rajni sir, of course, Mammootty sir, Mohanlal sir, Dhanush, Prabhas now. It also means somewhere that, producers, filmmakers are placing their trust, their bets on you, for their big budget films. Is that the definition of success for you?
Well, it feels amazing. It feels amazing, and I think what is very exciting as an actor is, on one hand, yes, that there is this trust where the kind of films that are crowd pullers, I'm getting to be a part of that, but I'm also working with some of the best makers. Correct. Like makers that I really admire. So I feel like as an artist, it's a great balance. And something I've also tried doing is sort of like do multiple genres, like to not get, because I feel like our industries are very quick to put, especially female actors, in a box very fast. Right. Like if you do 2 films where, for instance, say if you're playing like a small town girl, then all the offers you will get will be for characters like that. So I think the trick is to like keep a mixed bag, so keep them guessing. So before they put you in a box, just like do a wide, try and do a variety of plethora of roles, so people get confused, and that way you get to like be more versatile and also get to explore different facets of yourself as an actor.
Right. So, coming to Raja Saab now, your next release with Prabhas, your first collaboration with him. On the face of it, it is a Prabhas starer. But when you read the script, when you decided to come on board, what room did you really see for yourself, in a Prabhas film?
I've always wanted to work with him. And it was just a cherry on cake that the role happened to be a fun role.
Yeah.
I went in not knowing what to expect when I went in for the narration. I had no idea what the female part would be, or how short, or how long. And the more and more I kept listening to it, and I'm like, wow, like I'm so glad that this role has a lot of like things to do. Like there's enough fun stuff for me to do, and not sort of like just be there next to the actor and, just sort of merge with the... It's not something that's that. Yeah. So I was very glad okay, it's a good role.
Right. I'm sure as an actor, the idea is, of course, to chase good scripts, author-backed roles. Somehow, we are still in that, I think, space in the industry where there's still pretty much, to a large extent, a clear division between what we call meaty roles, and then there are these, star-led films. Of course, see, those give you that visibility. How do you navigate this space, Malavika, wherein do you think, especially for female actors doing a star-led film, especially in the earlier years of their career, is a stepping stone, to the bigger picture?
I feel a lot of that comes down to the economics of cinema. nobody is going to, if you're a fresh face and nobody knows about you, if you're a complete newbie, why would the producers bet X number of crores on you?
Sure.
Like on the basis of what, right? Unless it's like a very one-off situation where it's like a really well-established filmmaker who's looking for a female author-backed, a part or a role, and you get cast in that, which is an anomaly, which happens like once in a blue moon. But what you get, the opportunities when you're new that come your way are like opposite the already established male leads. So it's like a path, and then audience, they know you, and if they've connected with your roles, if you've had enough hits, then you sort of build a market for yourself, and it's a lot easier to do like female-led parts after that. So it comes down to the economics of it in most cases, unless it's like a one-off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. So, taking that question ahead, do you see a film like Raja Saab, let's, for instance, being headlined by a woman today, like, I'm talking about a high-octane action film or maybe a high-concept film like this. Do you see producers today willing to pump in that kind of money, for a film which is headlined by a woman? A film like that?
That's a good question, because it's a very... So what a lot of people, producers, actors, male actors have said in the past is that, if it's a female-led film, it won't have... it won't have that sort of a pull, which is why we can't invest more than like a X amount, is what they've said. But then, which is why people have not bet or made a big budget, very few big budget films with a female star leading it. I'm not saying nobody has made it. I'm just saying it's been very, very, very few. We can, like a handful, not more.
Sure.
But then this August, there was this movie that came out in Malayalam called Loka. And Loka was a very big budget film by the standards of the Malayalam film industry. Yeah. And that's because the producers of Loka, and it was headlined by a woman.
Yeah.
Kalyani. And it's because the producers of Loka bet on that. They bet on the content. And they had faith that, okay, she'll be able to carry it off. But you're betting on the movie as a whole, right?
And interestingly, she's a new actor. Relatively newer actor.
Relatively newer, younger actor.
Yeah.
And the film made so much money at the box office, which goes on to show that the audience doesn't care if it's a male-led film or a female-led film. If the content is good, people will come. It's just that enough producers don't bet on... they don't dare to bet on, they don't place women in these high-budget films. It's always like a male protagonist, more or less.
Yeah, right. But, coming to Prabhas, your co-star, he comes across as a very introverted guy, if I may say. I mean, we do not know him enough, but how do you really break the ice with a person who's a man of few words?
I was pleasantly surprised because he broke the ice.
Wow.
I remember being on set the first day, and this is when I was shooting for another movie, Tangalan. So I would come to Hyderabad, shoot for a couple of days, and then jump to Madurai where this film was being shot. And so I was very scattered, very all over the place. And of course, this was like a big... And I was getting into this film while I was already neck deep in the other film.
Right.
So it was doubly hard for me. And I remember being on the sets of Raja Saab the first day and meeting Prabhas sir the first day. And it was us. And that time we had all of those scenes were our solo sequences, like some romantic sequences and all of that. And you've just met the person and you're still breaking the ice and you're diving right into this cutesy romantic stuff and everything. And I remember that he went out of his way to make me comfortable, to sort of ease me into the thing. And, he's very complimenting in a very sweet, gentlemanly way. Very generous, very, very welcoming.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to break the ice. He did that. And I was so glad that he did. Because you do go with, you don't know what you're walking into, right? One of India's biggest superstars, and it's also my first film in that industry.
Right.
So I don't know what to expect, but he was quite, very, very warm and sweet.
Yeah. But was this also the first time that you were technically meeting him? Or did you meet him when you were also being considered for Salar? At that time, did you meet him?
No, that time I met the director of the film.
Okay.
Not
Prashant
Prabhas
Neel.
sir.
Okay.
Prashant Neel sir. But not Prabhas sir.
Okay.
No.
All right, okay.
But I really did want to meet him. So after Bahubali, my mom and me are big Bahubali fans. And both of us love Prabhas sir in the movie
Yes.
because he's like so tall and, you know, he's regal and his attitude and his elegance. Like very few people could have pulled off that role, right? Plus the film as itself, like I love Indian mythology.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed watching the film. And I don't say this about a lot of, like, I don't say, I end up liking I was a cinema student, so I end up liking very few films. Like, I'm very critical about, you know, movies and stuff. But Bahubali has a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to meet him at that point. And I remember, like, speaking to a friend of mine who's Telugu, and I was like, "Oh, Smita, I'm such a big Prabhas fan. I really want to meet him." And she was like, "Oh, I have this other friend who's his friend. Let me ask." So I remember, like, really wanting to meet him at that point, and then cut to this happen. So
that meeting did not happen.
no, that never happened. That never happened. And I remember laughingly telling Prabhas sir when I met him finally, you know, one of the days I was like, I really wanted to meet you at that point. And he was like, "Oh, I wish I knew."
But tell me something, your dad is a celebrated cinematographer. As a child, do you ever remember like him taking you to work ever, maybe on a film set? Do you have any memories?
My dad kept his, like, I did go to film sets, but like just a very, very few times, yeah.
Okay.
Very few times. Because otherwise we grew up very far away from the industry, apart from like dad working in it. Like for instance, our social life or our family dynamics never collided with the industry at all.
Wow, that's interesting, yeah.
At all. So I went to set a couple of times, but that's about it.
Yeah. Never told your dad to put in a good word for you?
With whom?
With a maker maybe you like?
I feel like, so I never planned on becoming an actor.
Okay.
It was not something I pursued from a young age. I sort of accidentally sort of stumbled into it. I was offered my first movie by Mammootty sir because they were casting for a film with, they were looking for a girl opposite Dulquer Salman.
Yeah.
So Mammootty sir happened to see me somewhere and then he was like, "Oh, there's this girl, she's really nice and she'll be the perfect fit for this." You know, like शादी का रिश्ता कैसे होता है ना कि एक लड़की है बहुत अच्छी है आप भी देखो उसकी photos. And then the director saw my photos and he was like, हाँ, she's, you know, she's good, let's call her, let's cast her.
Yeah.
So that's how I landed my first film. And then of course it was like a process of like meeting people and then you want to work, once you embark on a path, you want to do it right. You want to,
Sure, 100%.
you know, sort of work with like the best makers and, you know, so like do good work and all of that. But it was a very unexpected entry into films.
Right. You know, I have to ask you this. You did work with Thalapathy Vijay, you know, and the film emerged as, you know, I think the biggest hit of the year. And it was a difficult time because, you know, the pandemic was still on. Theatres were barely running. And I remember speaking to you at that time. And of course, you had some lovely things to say. I loved the film, by the way. You know, his last film, as they say, is going to release. As a fan, I'm sure, as a viewer, will you be missing seeing him on the screen, on the big screen?
Absolutely. His aura is something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've worked with a lot of actors, but his aura is just something else.
Unmatched.
Unmatched. It's quite unmatched. And I will definitely miss watching him on screen.
How lovely.
It's like a festival. When his films release, you know, the thing is that this first day, first show phenomenon is something that I feel that sort of craze in India is still there in Tamil Nadu and Telugu, like the Telugu states. It's sort of diminished over the years in a lot of the other places.
You're right.
Like the morning 4 a.m., 5 a.m. shows where fans are like, there's band baja outside the theatres and people are bursting crackers.
There's literally pujas happening.
There are pujas happening. Like I've read stories about how like earlier when Rajnikant sir's films used to release, there was like a milk shortage once.
Oh yeah, because of the Doodh Abhishek.
In Chennai,
no?
yeah, because they do the Doodh Abhishek.
Yeah,
it's called,
that's what
right?
it's
because
called.
they do that. There was milk shortage.
Imagine.
So it's so. I feel, see, even if you go to Hollywood, you won't get to see something like that. Like,
yeah. I agree.
That
euphoria is
that
unreal.
Euphoria, no, and the way that euphoria is shown and celebrated is very different. It's very unique to Indian cinema, and Thalapathy is somebody who has that in, you know, Tamil. So I think that entire festival that his films come with, you know, this feeling, I think that's something everyone will miss.
We will. You know, on a slightly different note, you, Malavika, has have been very vocal about, the issues I think especially female actors, often go through. You speak openly about the power dynamics, in the industry at large. I'm talking about all the industries. You've spoken about being color shamed, and how most female, especially female actors, I keep mentioning, because they are the ones who are often, told to change things about themselves more often than not. Do you think being vocal about these things, has it ever come at a professional cost?
No, not really. Not really, because I feel it's important to. I feel it's important to walk your talk.
Yes.
I'm somebody who has grown up with a certain set of beliefs. I'm a girl of today's generation, and I have been taught to speak my mind in a way where, like right place, right time.
Sure.
But speak your mind. And we speak so much about feminism. And I feel like if I can't walk my own talk, then I'm a hypocrite, right? So I do believe in that. I see two kinds of people. One, I see women who are genuinely feminists, who believe in equality, who believe in standing up for that equality, standing up for mistreatment of women. And on the other hand, I see women who do that for attention sometimes, and more as a self-branding. Ki, look, I am this person, but but in their real life they don't really walk their talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but I do feel like if whoever you are, and we have had we have certain freedoms today. We can do certain things because a lot of generations of women have fought to make that happen.
Yeah.
They have been the change they want to see in society. So you should always be the change you want to see. So I've always stood up for that.
But has conversations around pay become better over time? Or is this fight still there somewhere?
It's still there.
It's there.
Yeah, it's still there.
And, as a pure lover of cinema, I would just want to tell you that thank you for doing a film like Hridaya Purvam. Absolutely loved watching it. And I think it did really set a great precedent in terms of, what it really wanted to say. We talk about, age-appropriate roles. And the film actually was about that, and the script was about that. It was about an older man, a young girl, but...
and it was such a fine balance.
Very, very.
And like the script was threading like these thin waters.
Yeah.
Like if the making had gone wrong, it could have easily toppled over to like a very strange territory.
Very.
But yeah. So I'm so glad
but
that
kudos to you also for doing that film. Seriously.
I thought it was a lovely role.
It
and
was.
Again, like legendary director or legendary actor Mohanlal sir, like why not? And such a beautifully written character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.